Hey guys, Peter here from Sigma. I just wanted to go and try Forza Horizon 6. The Forza franchise has been around for a while. This is definitely a more fun, gamey-like experience compared to the likes of iRacing or Assetto Corsa or any of the more serious sims, if you will. But I do want to talk about a little bit about garbage in, garbage out, about telemetry and how most haptic device companies, most sim device companies are basically at the mercy of the data, right? So, and this is a very good example. We are running about 120 or so hertz here with a 5080. We have a 4K panel. We got pretty much all the settings to max, and this game is all eye candy. So it's a great title. It's fun to relax, it's fun to try different cars. The sounds are amazing, the visuals are incredible. There's small idiosyncrasies here and there, like the suspension coils don't compress as compared to things like BeamNG and other titles, but these are all small details. The reason you enjoy this game is probably because you've played it many times before, or you want to try the different cars and enjoy the car culture that's so rich in this game, and it's all about that car culture. So we're going to try the Sierra here. In different scenarios. We'll just drive around and I'll try to drive and talk, which is really hard, and try to drive and talk about what I'm feeling, what's missing, and what we could get. But to come down on this game for lack of haptic feedback or compatibility issues, again, this game is designed 99% for the console or for the controller. That's where majority of the market's going to be. So it's a mass market, large volume game. It's not designed for people with a very expensive rig such as this one. A quick explanation, we got the DD Plus, we got the Bentley wheel from Fanatec, we got the DK2 Plus motion system, we have our chassis, we have the Alienware PC, and we have the LG 4K panel. So let's just give it a try. I've got I think it's the RX3, and we just love the Sierras. The Sierras are kind of like the off-road Miatas. They're just so much light and fun. Single seater, you're right in the middle. It's very, very rare that you get this. I'm just gonna change the view. Everybody's gonna complain about this, but we'll change the view to something that gives me greater FOV. So, yeah, we'll stay in this view here. Again, just the FOV is a bit better. I know it's not realistic and everybody wants to be in cab, but we'll just do this for now. We'll just turn around. So I got the handbrake map to one of the paddle shifters here. I mean, this thing sounds amazing. It's got a motorcycle engine. It revs to 11,000 RPM. It feels fast. It's not fast. It feels fast, and that's kind of what everybody kind of loves about Miatas as well. It's like you can get a lot of value from the car without going fast. You can learn a lot about vehicle dynamics in a low mass vehicle, and the Sierra is just perfect for that as an on-road or off-road vehicle. Okay, so we'll get started here soon, I think. But you can already see how lush the environment is. The visuals are just stunning. And when it comes to the developers, they have to make a compromise. Are they gonna make such stunning graphics and visuals with a lot of interactive elements like this? You know, in BeamNG, you would have gotten stuck behind that ladder, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just every single game has its trade-offs, as is life. So very quick shifting. Very nice pitch of the vehicle as well. The sounds are incredible. The little backfires, I haven't gotten sick of that yet. It's just non-stop. So let's look at the basics first. So, you know, roll is good. Let's see what our settings are in the Sigma software. Let's just pull over to the side here. And we'll talk about effects, canned effects, or telemetry-based effects as well. But in terms of software, again, we're running the DK2 Plus. I always turn all the smoothing down to 0, so we get nice sharp peaks. For advanced heave, I always like to max out the motor here. That just gives us a lot more motor torque for the heave layer, which we find very important. Everything's pretty much set to default except for the pitch, which usually is quite low. The default is 3. I give it up to 8. or so. So everything smoothing's at 0. And the only other thing that I really touch is under vibrations, advanced tuning. I like to boost it up a little bit more, just so and what that boost basically is, gives you a nice little peak, so you kind of feel the ground more and the texture that's there, even more than you already do with the Sigmas. So let's give that a try. Those are the settings though. Very responsive though. Again, we're running at 50/80 full settings. We're getting about 120 frames per second, give and take. Whenever you're in high, rich environments, like with a lot of trees and a lot of elements and stuff like that, the frame rate will drop, but other than that, it's just a very rich experience. So, where are we lacking on the haptic side? So, this is where effects-based systems kind of fill in the gaps quite well. And there's several out there. So what they could do, for example, is in this environment, we're driving on the road and we're feeling small textures here and there, which is really nice. The engine vibration really comes through well in the chassis, especially we're on concrete here, so we're getting everything. Newton's third law. Oh yeah. So the engine vibration comes in through. If I step off, I definitely feel the left side bouncing up and down, and it's night and day driving with and without haptics. It is really a nice luxury to have. And with our RPM vibrations, I can definitely feel the changeover, or where the torque and the horsepower lines interact. On the opposite of the road here, we are in Japan. So you could tell that it's not nuanced. Like I said, of course, our rally does a really good job putting the telemetry everywhere. Going uphill, I definitely feel the chassis a little bit uphill. Let's see what happens when we go over the crest. Yep, I can feel the chassis even out. But look at these graphics, just sublime. This is a game that you jump into after a hard day's work, or after you just got upset trying to start 4 races with failure in iRacing or something like that. Just jump in here and relax and just play around. Again, it's not meant to be real. The force feedback is not meant to be accurate. I'm not sure where we're going here, but we'll just drive around. And in terms of the road, again, it's a smooth, clean road. There's not a lot of texture here, but as soon as we come off, I definitely feel that both in the wheel as an effect, and I also feel it in the chassis. All the vehicles somewhat handled the same as well. There's a drifty-like nature to them, so they all step out a little bit like that. This one just sounds so great. And this is really what this is all about. So rather than, there really isn't any cracks in the pavement or anything like that that I could feel out. Let's try this expansion. There's no expansion gaps here either in the bridge, although visually they're there. There's no geometry there. So again, this is where in the past a lot of effects-based motion systems and haptic devices would have their own library of effects, and they would just play them. So there'd be a little marker there in the game and says, if you go over here, play this effect or play this particular feature. I'm not really feeling a lot of the gear shifts here, which is okay. Just the engine vibration is fantastic. The roll is very nice. You can feel the lightweight nature of this vehicle as well. Right here you can see there's some cracks in the pavement everywhere, and that just doesn't come through. It's basically just a graphical layer versus 3D geometry. Impacts, there's no impacts here as well. Oh, actually, there is. There is impacts. I can feel, because it's affecting the pitch of the vehicle, I think, as it hits it. If there's a change in speed, let's try tree. Yep. Yep, felt that. Yep. Okay, never mind. So, yeah, and that's kind of what you want. So rather than doing effects-based stuff, which we felt that little dip there, that was great. What you want to do is model the environment so it's authentic and natural. And what that means is any vehicle that you're in, with any kind of tire or suspension changes, you get this nuance. Nuance basically means you get this differentiation or this different feel based on the road and the vehicle combination, versus if it's just an effect, it's just something that's just played back, everything kind of feels the same regardless of the vehicle that you're in. And this is kind of like how you have the handling dynamics of this vehicle. Each vehicle feels so similar when in effect they should be so different. Like I drove one of the four-wheel trucks that they had there as well, and it felt very similar to, whoops, wrong side of the road. It felt very similar to, like the heavy cars felt the same as the four-wheel drive cars, the trucks. You know, even this vehicle should feel a little bit lighter, I think, on its tires than it does. What is nice is that when it steps out, since the engine's in the back, it does over-rotate because that is where the mass is. So that does feel nice. Let's see where this guy's going. But majority of the experience is very smooth, as you can see. Very nice unloading there of the tires, of the chassis. But what you don't get in the steering, which is what I think a lot of guys talk about, is, for example, as I'm accelerating now, let's actually slow down a little bit. So as I'm accelerating, the steering should get lighter. And I'll just keep on turning it, and it should get heavier when I brake. And I just don't feel that in the steering. This is kind of what Richard Burns Rally and other older simulators got down so well, is that the weight of the steering changes with the way that the vehicle is loaded and unloaded, and you just don't have that here. And in many games, even I would argue Assetto Corsa Rally doesn't have that, where when you load up the tire, you just don't feel it in the wheel as much. And again, that shouldn't come up from the wheel, that should come from the physics of the physics engine. So let's actually go somewhere here. Let's try going off-road. Okay, so off-road, I can feel the effects right away in the wheel. So there's definitely a wheel effect. Feel it in the motion. It is nuance. It's not just the vibration. So there's definitely some kind of geometry there that's changing. And the exciting news too is that a lot of the AI technologies that are coming out are going to have this ability to create this nuance artificially without having a 3D artist to go in there and manipulate all the vertices and all the different geometries. Now that's kind of here already to some degree, but it's going to just keep on getting better. So a lot of these trees, you don't have to plant one by one or in groups. It's just generated via a program. I mean, for what the graphical quality of the game, the sound, the number of vehicles, how large this environment is, this is just an incredible value, in my opinion. You can definitely feel the different elevation changes, the sway of the vehicle. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the video, but it's definitely there. We're going up the hill there. Take them on the inside here. Let's go to the top here. Let's keep climbing. But yeah, so you know, the kind of a dull experience when it comes to haptics, as expected. just because the telemetry rate is definitely there, and I don't think it would take the development team that much more to amp everything up. But you know, every company, every person has a certain amount of time, certain amount of budget, and when it comes down to catering to that 1% of the market, or let's say maybe 5% growing market, that doesn't use a controller, has haptics, has expensive wheel systems, expensive displays, expensive rigs. And we already have software options as well. This again is more of a fun, lively title. You can just kick back and relax with, enjoy. The visuals are stunning, the road textures, just how big these environments and maps are is just yeah. So the spin out's really nice. Oh. So let's see where we are now. We are far away. So let's set a destination. Let's go somewhere. Let's go into a city. I don't want to make this too long. Actually, I do want to go off-road a little bit. See if we can make some kind of a... There's a time attack. Let's go back to the invitational, but we'll take a different route than normal. So yeah, in terms of the haptics, what I'm feeling, it's definitely much better than not having anything at all. Like so I tried the game first without the motion, and it definitely felt good. Like it looked good. You could see a lot of the motion visually as well. But even here, I mean, there's just the fact that you feel it in the wheel, you feel in the motion system. The thing too is with effects as well is you can get into this position where the wheel has telemetry-based effects, and those telemetry-based effects again are pre-recorded effects that are triggered by the telemetry to give you something that's missing from the physics engine or from the detail. And when you have various haptic systems, let's say you have a belt tensioner, you have haptic pedals, you have a wheel, you have a motion system, you have a seat, whatever, you can actually get all the haptic systems competing for the same kind of representation of haptics, if you will. So like if you go off-road and the wheel's vibrating with whatever the artist believes it should be represented by going off-road, the motion system's giving you something else, the pedals or the seat belt is giving you something else. It could all be different. It could be in a kind of a different synced environment, and it could actually give you the wrong, it can give you more mixed signals. So it can give you more basically, it can give you more noise than signal, the information you could use. So this is interesting. Definitely you can feel the difference here. So they did change the texture on here. This definitely feels like you're on some kind of a gravel surface. This is really well done, actually. It's kind of taking my breath away in certain areas. Yeah, that's great. Wow. So it's definitely getting better. I think if you would compare it to Forza 4, Forza 5, this is definitely better. Lots of texture there. Maybe some kind of vineyards. I didn't even know Japan had vineyards or whatever these are. Yeah, this is great. So it actually kind of matches what I'm feeling in the wheel as well. Should we turn left? Is this a regular road? It's a regular road. And now it smooths out, so it's really nice. I'm gonna just jump out of here. So, yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement for any game. And the thing too with dirt, that's so difficult to do, like that was definitely some kind of a texture that they applied, but if it was any kind of softer water, anything that deforms a lot, that is something very, very hard to do. And the reason is it's already hard to do tire deformations, like how the vehicle would spring back with the suspension. And the tire acts like a piece of suspension as well. It is absorbing. It is absorbing part of the. See, like there should be some kind of a bounce when the vehicle comes back to center, depending again on the pressure of the tire, depending on the sidewall, the suspension construction. But when you are on dirt, that is a constantly dynamic, changing situation, and it's very. There's a lot of processing, a lot of calculations involved, as you can imagine. Like for example, here in the ruts, me going through the ruts, the tire should be undulating through those ruts. But if I hit them sideways, it could be changing those ruts. So I'm changing the surface that I'm driving on, and that's a very hard mathematical problem to solve in real time. You need to represent it almost right away within 5 or 10 milliseconds. Great texture here again. This is probably the best surface you can feel. Let's try the water crossing. Yeah, it didn't feel like anything. That should be more of a pitch forward. That should feel like something different. And what's this? So here we are on ground now. So it's a little bit more smoother, which makes sense. And where are we?
200 yards. Turn left.
I'm just gonna cut through the bush here.
200 yards.
Yeah, so this is what the game is really about. You can just drive anywhere. It's really the freedom of being able to go
Turn left.
anywhere. So, but yeah, it's overall it's great. Again, you can't come down on this game for compatibility or haptics or feedback. I mean, the way the vehicle here feels pretty good with the Fanatec base that we have that we use for Gran Turismo. Very similar to Gran Turismo. I think Gran Turismo 7 still has a little bit more variation when it comes to vehicles. It's definitely more serious than this, but this is just a ton of fun. And see the responsiveness. Third gear pull. The vibrations, the engine vibrations are just great. No, I don't feel those in the wheel, I feel in the motion system. There I can feel stepping off. The way that the sound changes in here, it echoes out. Let's see if there's any, a little bit of vibration. I'm not sure where it's coming from, whether it's the wheel or the motion system, but kind of there. There should be, well, I'm not sure if there should be. There could be a bit more chatter. So yeah, so I think you do have to have effects for games like this. It's a game we don't play here at Sigma. We like to keep it more pure, but just the way this car sounds. 9,000 RPM.
400 yards. Turn left.
And here we are, destination.
Turn left.
All right.
You have arrived at your destination.
And that's really what it's all about, is just doing stupid stuff like that. But yeah, so overall, great game, amazing graphics, amazing sounds, amazing environment. This is such a huge accomplishment for the team to do. Lower your expectations, obviously. You're getting so much more of other value. If you're looking for something more crisp or natural, you know, there's, like I said, iRacing, there's Assetto Corsa, there's BeamNG. Those are more pure physics engines, and they also come with their own trade-offs. You know, they don't have these massive environments, they don't have the sounds, the collection of cars. I mean, we have so much here in terms of vehicles, and then everything looks like eye candy, like it just looks great. These are just some of the cars we've been playing with here for a few hours. But yeah, so that's everything. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave them down below. We'd be happy to answer them. Again, this is our kind of like first impression of Forza Horizon, what we think of it, setting certain expectations for games like this, just enjoying them for what they are, and hopefully things like the physics. I think what's probably more important is making sure that there is proper wheel support, proper VR support, triple monitor support. But again, these are such high-level items to support in scale, and the team has to cater to their audience, which again, 90% plus is people on a controller enjoying this, enjoying the community, enjoying the sights and the sounds, rather than the feels and the haptic feedback of high-end motion systems or wheels or other devices. So that's it. Signing off. Thanks, guys.